Well, hi there. I'm Noxter, and welcome to a brand new series. This is BrewCraft, or some variation thereupon. I'm not sure what I'm gonna. The series officially, or Nox Brew or do something fancy like that, or just BrewCraft like everyone else does. So I'm playing on a multiplayer server, which Chris invited me to, which he's been hanging out on. It's called the BrewCraft server, and it's a work of people and pretty cool people doing there. It was formerly, some of you might know, it was formerly known as Maplecraft. A bunch of logistical changes, things happening, and they changed their branding. It's now BrewCraft. That's brew as in making coffee, not as in what Kiwis call their mates. As far as I'm aware, most of the people here are actually American. But one of the advantages of them being all American is that they all live on the other side of the world and aren't very busy around this time of day, which is what we're going to. So I joined on Monday, and yeah, most of my time I play in the evening, so I don't see a lot of people on. Hopefully on the weekends I'll be able to do some more interaction-y type things. But I'm collecting some trees, because I'm going to do something a little bit interesting. So this is the spawn town. I mentioned what I've done so far. This is the spawn town area where people do spawn towny type things. It's kind of crazy, and again, I don't really know much about who everyone is yet, so something in a few of Chris's videos, a couple others. Most of the time it's just, okay, there's these people do things and stuff. This is Chris's place that he's building, and I've just got a little camp set up in kind of valley just. So one of the things that was significant about this server, and a bit differently, is just because, you know, since I used to play on the Cosmos with Chris, and I used to have a lot of time back then, but since then, you know, I've got a life, and, you know, I now work full time, so I don't have as much time as I used to, and the time I do have, I, you know, want to do other things, hang out with real life people, important type stuff, so I don't have as much time to play Minecraft. And how did that tree even get there? How can I replant it? So when Chris asked me to join, at first I was like, yeah, I'd love to, but I don't have the time. And then I'm like, well, maybe find some quick, simple things. And I've thought of some ideas. Well, the general principle, one of the things I was thinking of is, like that little tent I've got, is to just, I could be a little hermit guy who just go pitch a tent in someone's backyard or front yard. Move. I'm looking for some spruce trees, by the way. I think there's a bunch of all the other kinds of trees around here. If not, there's some mountains over there. I think there's some up it. I've got nearly a stack of oak logs. Hopefully. Okay. Right, where was I? So yes, I thought I could do something like that, pitch a tent in someone's yard and move it. I realised keeping things in a pain. I do have a mule, which I've acquired. Somewhat suspicious, shady means involving borrowing someone else's donkey and bringing it over to someone else's horse and surreptitiously breeding them. But I returned everything. It doesn't actually affect anyone at all. So I've acquired a mule. I managed to find a saddle by going out some nether fortresses, and yeah, so I've got a mule. But storage on mules is not really bad. Just a suggestion to Mojang. I know they don't really watch my videos. Well, Chris hasn't. I only need like one log, but I think I'll go. Just a suggestion is make it so donkeys and mules, you can put an additional chest on them, like in the saddle slot, which would mean that you can't ride them, but they can carry more stuff. Still just lead them with leads and stuff. I think that would be pretty cool. Just a suggestion. Here. Oh yes, my bow, I currently am running a separate texture pack that makes my bows into plasma rifles. You go. Make really cool sounds. And the reason I did that, I started working on it because I was planning making a custom adventure map type theme. It was kind of sci-fi plasma rifles. This one looked nicely. And I made the model for it and I quite liked it. Ended up not really getting anywhere with the map idea. I was working on some of the basic gameplay stuff and ended up ditching it mostly for some reason. It would need a revamp anyway. So I decided not to. Pretty sure that's all I need. Okay. So yes, didn't do that, but I liked the model. So I decided to make a separate texture pack, which I can apply on top of my regular one, make the bows into plasma rifles, and I've renamed it. This bow, by the way, has got lots of things on it. Doesn't have infinity or flame. I'd like to get flame on it at least. I got this just from combining different bows dropped by skeletons in there's a dual skelly spawner farm. One. Okay. Someone has done weird things to my giant fish. By the way, this is my giant fish. Under construction. And it needs some work. Someone has tried to save the fishies. That's kind of cool. I don't think they realise that for a fish to breathe... For a fish to breathe, the water actually has to go into mouth. So, sorry. This fish would be dead. If it was really a fish and not just a building shaped like a fish. I was talking about something. And before I get too talked about, I completely lost my train of thought. I got the spruce, I got a bunch of oak, I hope is enough. I was talking about the texture pack and the pew-pew thing. And yes, doing that. So what I'm gonna go take a nap. Oh yes, again about the Skelly farm, and yes, I enchanted there. I got a bunch of enchantments. Combined all the bows and got this. I'd like to get flame on it because it can one-shot sometimes mobs, but not always, and zombies are a bit tougher. If you had flame, one-shot them. The fire afterwards. Right. What do I actually need for this? Oh, another weird thing that's just a little bit weird. My achievements. I thought, let's just not do any achievements until ages. And you know. So it'll be like 20 years later, probably not a few days. I want to just get the first achievement, kind of thing. But I kind of thought of it a bit too late. Well, not entirely too late. I'd already gotten getting wood, which means in order for me to keep doing that, I have to not make any workbench. So this one I didn't actually make. I found it lying around out in the open somewhere. I acquired it that way and brought it back to my place. I need some ladders. I think I need about 10 ladders. Failing to do. That should be enough. Anything else? I need to make a sign. Again, being an American server and me being, you know, down in Aussie land, lag. Pretty good in terms of building and blocks. There's a little bit of inventory lag as you saw, and sometimes fighting mobs laggy, but it's not too bad. Right, so what I'm going to do, now that I've talked about most of the is we're going to come up over here where Chris is building a place. And some of you may remember, back in the ancient days of my first 2 episodes of Cosmos, I don't know if anyone will remember that. I'm not entirely sure if people who watched me back then are still watching me now. Chris had this building at his base. Or he had started building the framework for a building. And when he introduced me to it, he said, well, kind of introduced it and said, hey, this is my amazing table thing, because it looked kind of vaguely like a table. And we kind of joked about, yes, it's the most amazing table-like thing in the world. And joked about it. And then, of course, we joked about being very sad when he finally removed it and built an actual house there. Which you can see in my 3rd episode when I mentioned that. And it's kind of sad. And he said, I've only moved it, I'm going to rebuild it elsewhere. He never has, and that was several years ago. So today, I am planning to rebuild it in his front yard here. So all I need to do is figure out my dimensions, and I've taken some screenshots from my old videos, and very carefully figured out what goes on. So the center part, I'm pretty sure... What number? It's... I figure out how to arrange. I might want to have it straddling this kind of, or just going, I think I'll have it going across the, so there are kind of two weird pillars with ladders in them. Kind of a 3 block space at a gap. Pillar here. 4. And well, that might not give me quite enough space. Because, what is it on that side? Very hard to actually tell from the images exactly how big it is, but I'm pretty sure that's 2 blocks. So, from the pole, there's 2 blocks, and then the pole be level with here. I think that's okay. Alright, so I do that, and then I run ladders up. It actually goes up 5, because it's 4 blocks, and then there's the top layer. Alright, and then in between, this is where I need the spruce planks, in between the top layer, there are 3 spruce planks. I don't know why they're spruce planks. I have to ask Chris what he was thinking when he designed the plate. Actually, said what he... Whoops, that's the picture. But yes, I think I concluded it's 2 blocks here, and then the border. And from this side it goes... Oh, I'm building it horizontal. The texture was last time, but much. It's 3 blocks, and then the border on this side. Fill that in. Hope I have enough wood. If not, oak trees are fairly plenteous around there. You build the pillar, and one goes. Oh, well, it depends which side this is. But I don't want to build it like this. Front. Side. Yeah. This is where his place was. This is where my KFC building is. That orientation. 1, 2, 3. So yes, as I said, while I'm doing this, I'll mention that side. Actually, I think it's flat on here. As I said, not having much time, I thought of some interesting, all kinds of interesting things I can do that aren't particularly time-consuming or big epic projects. And I'll look at my picture again. Okay, it did go across there. Well, 2, 3. Goes like that, and then out 1. Then I thought I also want to try and get involved with the community, because that's kind of the whole point of playing on a server. Doing things like I'm going to. So I thought, what did I say? It's 2 this side, isn't it? So 1, 2. It's going to be right up against the wall. So yes, I want to do more community type things, and hence I'm building the giant fish as a spawn feature, which will have a usage for the general community to use. I'm sure all those usages are, but there will be one. And I thought, I also want to get more into pranking, because although my pranks are diabolical, I have only done a very small handful. And part of the reason is because I have this mindset that my pranks need to be over the top, insane, extraordinary feats of awesomeness, and they need to be just perfectly executed grandly. And I have, you know, ideas. They're not necessarily the most annoying of pranks to get pranked by. I also don't believe in the golden rule of pranking, that a prank should be fun for the person receiving it and not just tedious to clean up. But I kind of forgot, or never knew, or didn't grasp the concept of the micro prank, where it's just a kind of fun little gift that isn't usually strenuously tedious to make or design. And because I want it to be perfect and best, and I want to completely blow everyone out of the water, I kind of lost some of the charm of just doing a small, like, hey, here's a funny lol thing for you to laugh at. And so I want to get back into doing that and try and spread the love out with everybody. And do lots of kind of... I've still got some plans for some pretty big things. The other problem with I keep planning big and epic pranks. And I'm like, okay, I've got this really cool idea for a prank. And now I need someone to pull it on. Now, this specific prank requires a person who has a specific kind of base, or a yard of a specific size, or a kind of area, and it's like, oh, who has that? No, no one. So that's the other downside of my pranking style, and I want to, well, I've still got a couple of those. One that's been sitting in my to-do list for ages. I first mentioned back in an episode of Old Aeronaut, still way back at the end as a clip. Whole thing. Just a mention, as in, I've discovered the coolest prank ever. Of course, at that time I didn't even have a server to play with prank people. Since then I've done the Cosmos thing, but haven't really done that. And I've revised the idea somewhat thanks to new updates and the way mechanics that make it work have changed. I've still got an idea, and I still want to pull it off, and I might do it here. I need to get the resources, and I might see if I can convince someone else to help me. I don't have to do it all myself. Maybe after Chris has finished removing this, he might help me do it to someone else. If I can find a person with the right sort of landscape for their yard. Right. But yes, I want to get more into that kind of thing. Because I've kind of been a bit of a loner and sort of said, yeah, I got these ideas. But never really done a lot of them. Oh, this one goes the other way. I'm pretty sure I got the size right. Like, I'm now starting to doubt myself. Kind of hard to tell from the I actually. So that's the tricky part. Let's see. Oh wait, I can see on here. It definitely is 3 across that way. Wait, across that way? Oh no, I've got that. Okay, so yes, it definitely is 3 across that way. Fairly certain it was symmetrical, except for this overhanging balcony type bit. Again, doesn't make much sense to have in a table. This wasn't actually a table. He just described as that because. Alright. Got the ladders. I've pretty much got everything now. I just got to fill in the rest of the framework and it'll be done. I don't think there are any torches. Let's see if there are any. Okay. Kind of wish I had built it across the other way, so it wasn't quite right up into place. I don't mind too much. I think it'll get the impression across. And whoops. Hopefully he'll see it tomorrow morning. Be his. What is it? Be his Friday evening. It's my Friday evening now because I'm in the future. Australian future. It's true. First. All right. This is as near as possible as I can recall to the giant, amazing table of words. So I don't know where Chris is first going to see that from. Really only that size? Yeah, that seems about right. I'm pretty sure it's right. So I don't know if he's going to be in here and log on, or if he's going to come from far back and go, what the heck is that? But I need to leave a sign. Now, traditionally in pranking, you're supposed to leave your name, but I don't think I have to, because I'm sure if he recognizes this, he'll probably figure out I'm the only one who would know about that and want to do it. So I'm just going to put a sign somewhere that says, hey, remember this? And I don't know if I want to put it on top or just down here somewhere. So I'm assuming, unless he logged off and is inside here, which seems like there isn't much here yet. He's just got a framework set up. Don't know even where all his supply chests are. He's got this one here. Wow, he does have a fair bit of stuff in there. That's probably his main thing. So he might be working if he's going to log off in a safe area. He does things in other parts of the world as well. So I'm going to put a sign right in the center, right under here. And it's going to say this. And that's all. I don't need to say anything more, because hopefully he'll recognise it. If he doesn't, he just goes, "Who built the weird table thing in my yard?" I'm pretty sure. I'm not even sure if we might have even mentioned it whilst playing No Place for Blocks the other day, several months ago. So it did come up. I got a vague recollection that it did, but I don't know. So many things. Anyway, that is a little bit of shenanigans and an introduction to the BrewCraft server. Briefly, I guess I haven't really shown you much around the place, but everyone else probably already has. And I've talked a bit about what I'm doing, and I've probably gone way over time. So thank you for watching, and tune in next time. That'll do for an outro. There's Chris's amazing giant table. This is like the most amazing giant table I've ever seen. I mean, don't you agree? It's just like incredible. It's just a thing of beauty. I love it.